Hello everyone and welcome to the second week of our month-long deck challenge. This week we're going to be getting to know a deck that maybe we've just purchased or one that we perhaps had in our collection for some time but that we're really just not using that often. So this week our focus is really going to be about kind of peeling back the layers and getting to know decks that maybe we love but we just really haven't used a lot. For me, I'm going to be working with Victoria Francis, her new Oracle Cards deck. This was just gifted to me by a very lovely, lovely friend, and I am looking forward to getting to know her a little bit better and working with her in new ways. So to start the week off, so I'm uploading this video on a Wednesday. You are either starting your deck challenge this Thursday or the upcoming Sunday. So to start the deck challenge off for this second week, working with a new deck or a deck you have not spent a lot of time with, a really great way for us to start the week is going to be with doing a little clearing and cleansing of our deck, maybe lighting some sage or some Palo Santo, using stones or crystals that we feel drawn to use with the deck itself, and just kind of starting the week off, excuse me, by exploring how it feels when we clear the deck for our use. So obviously we can clear outside of just when we first get the deck. This can be at any time we feel that we feel the need to, or we feel drawn to do it, or maybe it just feels really good for us to do that. So this is about exploring this again, even if we've already cleared the deck, and allowing this to be a real fresh start and a new approach to our working with the deck. So I'm just going to show you the backing to this. I'll show you some of the card images. So the first thing we want to do to start the week off is to actually clear the deck. And then, this is one of my favorite images in this deck, then we're going to sit with sorry guys, I'm just taking a deep breath for a sec. Then we're going to start by working with a spread. So after clearing the deck, we're then going to do a getting to know you or interview spread for our deck. So there are lots and lots of spreads available online. There's a great one on tarotforum.net, which has a get to know you / interview spread that you can just print right off and work with that, or you can create your own spread. I would encourage you to create your own spread, but if you'd rather use a spread that someone else has created for the purpose of getting to know your deck, I did do a video on the getting to know your deck interview spread from the Tarot Forum a couple years ago at least now, but I'll post the link to that below. And then you can take a look at that, my impressions of that spread and working with it. It's a great spread. It's a really nice one to get to know your decks. And I also really do, though, like creating my own spread to get to know my decks. So that's going to be our kind of spread this week, if you will. It's going to be a getting to know you or an interview spread. And that is going to take up one night for us. So we're going to continue with our daily draws. We're going to start the week with a new deck or one that we haven't gotten to know very well by clearing the deck however we want to, and really make a ritual out of it. Make it enjoyable. Make it a beautiful, special occasion. Light a candle. Spend some time meditating with the deck. Clear the deck. Touch every card. Shuffle the deck. Sit with the deck. Spend some time with the deck. And make it an enjoyable, special, beautiful night for yourself, or morning or afternoon, whenever you can do it, where you can really just kind of connect with the deck's energy. And if you've already cleared the deck before, this is really just a consecration or the marriage vows to a new aspect of the relationship with the deck. So just really enjoy that and indulge in that experience for yourself this week. Then later on in the week, probably about halfway through the week, you can go ahead and do your new deck spread, or you can do it right away if you really feel drawn to after you clear the deck. You know, if you're just really, really excited, feel free to go ahead and do that too. But I'm just trying to spread this out over the week so it doesn't feel too overwhelming for everyone who's participating. You're going to continue with your daily draws every day, at least 5 days a week, preferably 7. And then either immediately after clearing the deck or halfway through the week, you can sit down and do the getting to know you spread as far as becoming comfortable with the deck. Again, you can create that spread yourself, or you can find one online or in a book that will allow you to really get to know your deck, find out the personality of the deck, find out why you're working together at this time, what messages the deck has for you, etc. And then at the end of the week, or whenever in the week you feel drawn to do this, allow yourself to do some journaling and storytelling with this deck. So this is going to occur after we've done the getting to know you spread. And then draw a few cards, draw 3 to 5 cards, and allow yourself to journal or speak, if you don't feel like writing, a story that comes to you from these 3 to 5 cards with your deck. And again, this deck can be tarot or oracle. So what story ends up coming to you? And for this, really allow your imagination and your intuition free rein to just play around with it and enjoy it. This should be a totally relaxing, fun exercise, not stressful. This is just about joy and connecting with this new deck or this deck you haven't spent a lot of time with. This is one of my favorite things to do with my decks, and it's a wonderful way to get to know a deck or become reacquainted with a deck, because you are exploring your own realms with the deck itself. And you're also getting to play with using your intuition in a new way that can feel a little uncomfortable when you first start doing it, when you first start working with the cards. But the more that you can allow yourself to play with your imagination with the cards like this, in my experience, it just gets more and more comfortable, and there's more and more flow to when you're working with your cards. And this also lets you see that there are so many different ways to work with your deck, not just for divination or spreads, but that they have a lot of uses as well. So we're going to do that, and that will be towards the end of this second week with our deck. Really spending some time with storytelling with the deck, storylines with the deck, if you want to step into that type of thing, you know, looking at the lineage that the deck is holding within itself and telling stories through ancestry, if you feel drawn to do that, or exploring the roots of certain cards. And those roots can be anywhere that you feel them to be, anywhere that you're pulled to go, you know, whether that's a landscape, a physical landscape that you feel drawn to explore through telling this story, or if it's again something in the DNA, or this can get as broad and as beautiful as you want it to. And this is something that you can keep to yourself, or you can choose to share if you want to. You can share with me, you could share with anyone in your life that you feel holds a safe place for you to do that. But if you really enjoy this, it is fun to share it as well. So sit with that if you want to share it, or if this wants to be a purely private experience, which it's always important to honor when that happens too. So this is our second week of the deck challenge, really sitting with getting to know a deck that is either new or that we just haven't really spent that much time with. And I find if we don't kind of set time aside to get to know a deck when we first get it, if we're a deck collector, at least for me, the deck can kind of not get used to the extent that we'd like it to. You know, it can kind of sit there for a little while. And so I really like connecting with a deck immediately like this and getting to know it right away, or as soon as I can, so that the relationship can be meaningful and powerful, and so that the deck isn't just some pretty paper sitting on a table. So I hope you are all doing well with the challenge and enjoying it. Week 1, I worked with the Fallen Angels Oracle, and I love that deck so much. So it's been wonderful kind of connecting with it even more deeply, and working with it primarily just for myself has been really good too. I did use it in the daily draws on Facebook, because for the deck challenge I try to do that. I try to use the same deck that's my personal deck. And so I did use it for the daily draws on Facebook and have had great experience with that. It always gives me very clear answers, the Fallen Angels Oracle. And sometimes it's not given in the most gentle way. Sometimes it's a real kick in the face or the ass, depending on what it's talking about. But the answers are always very truthful and really loving as well. And the beautiful thing about the Fallen Angels Oracle, which if you've just gotten this deck, this might be one you want to use for your second week of the challenge, is that there is such a history with each of the cards. And for me, this week I've really been drawn to Astaroth and researching his lineage. as far as one of the Fallen Seraphim, and I've had a lot of fun with that. Like, that's really been pulling me in and kind of getting my creative juices flowing in a really good way. So anytime you feel called to do that deeper research with a card, especially if it has a written lineage, but even if it doesn't, even if it's more of a meditative journey that's allowing you to explore the lineage and the history of the card, I will always encourage you to do that because it's very powerful and enjoyable, and it does create a kind of a blueprint or a building, you know, a type of architecture that you can walk into with a deck, which is very, very powerful. So I'm so happy that I worked with the Fallen Angels Oracle for the first week. I've had that deck for a few years now, since before Vincent was born. And every year that goes by, I find that I fall more in love with that deck and that it has more and more to show me. Especially interdimensionally, that deck works very powerfully interdimensionally. And it's it's a privilege to work with it. And Nigel Suckling really created an incredible deck. There's so much value that and hard work that he put into it, but it's from such a place of honor of these energies and a different lens, because he isn't just looking at it from the Christian perspective. He's pulling in where we can find the wisdom with this deck, with these beings, not just as something evil, but as energies that are holding important spaces on the wheel of life. So I can't recommend that deck enough. I don't recommend it to everyone because it can be very, once you realize what you're working with, it can put some people off and make some people feel really uncomfortable. But if you didn't know that you were working with fallen angels or demons with that deck, you wouldn't mind, because it's such a powerful deck, and the energies really do have a strong message of evolution for us as humans, and how we can shift these patterns. So I loved my first week with that deck, and I'm really excited to work with Victoria Francis, her Oracle cards deck. Her tarot deck was very disappointing for me because the pips, all of the minor arcana are pips, and that was very disappointing for me. And so I really only use the deck as the major arcana, and I don't use the deck that often, even though I adore her artwork. But this deck, the guidebook actually has a good amount of information in English. There are several languages in the book itself, making you think you're getting a little bit more than you are. But there's still a good amount in here. Each card gets its own page in English, or in whatever language that you are reading the guidebook in. So you can see. So that's a pretty big deal coming from Los Garibio. The box is actually really nice, and the images are really beautiful. If you like Victoria Francis artwork, you will really love this deck. So I had someone ask what artwork is on the walls in this is my bedroom actually that we're in. Shane and Vincent are drumming downstairs again. So I have quite a bit of artwork on the walls in this room, but primarily the artwork you're seeing behind you is Waterhouse, Bouguereau. There's, I'm trying to look now, there's Van Gogh back there, there's Michael Parks. A lot of the pre-Raphaelite painters, sorry, I just lost that word for a second, are back here. And lots of mythological work. This is Psyche over here. And you can see in the little frames up there, there's lots of witches riding through night skies, performing ritual. Just lots of really, really beautiful, yummy artwork in here. Oh, and I do have a Sargent painting down here. It's one woman. It's a study of one woman 7 times over, so it looks like there's 7 women in the image. So that one is really beautiful. And on this little wall right here is Mucha prints on that wall. So that's the artwork that's in here. This is the last room that we haven't painted this room yet, so we're getting there, and I'm trying to decide what colors we're going to do. But this wall here that I am looking at right now is covered completely in artwork. So I won't show you that right now. It can be a bit much for some people, but yes, this is my room where my main spiritual kind of center is, just for me and for my husband. So thank you all for joining me tonight, and thank you for joining me for the monthly deck challenge. I'm really enjoying it. I always do. It's a very powerful exercise, disciplining yourself to connect with one deck for a whole week. So, and I'm really excited to work with this Oracle deck this week. It's going to be really, really great. And I also, we're over 2,000 followers on the Facebook page, Artist Moon. So I will be doing the giveaway very soon. And if you haven't watched the first video in the deck challenge, I talked on that one about what I'm going to be gifting, which are a lot of decks from my personal collection. They're going to be kind of like little gift sets with different themes. So you can, you know, the giveaway will be set up so you can comment below the message on Facebook for the type of gift set you'd like. And then at the end, I'll choose winners for each type of gift set. So there's quite a few decks that I'm going to be gifting. A lot of decks. So be sure to check that out. And I'll do a little video too. So if you're on YouTube but not Facebook, you can find out about it, and you can always shoot me an email and ask to join, and I'll be happy to let you join the challenge that way. Not challenge, giveaway that way. So I am sending you all many blessings and much love. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.